everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Love for Intuitive Astrology. So my name is Michelle and I'm an intuitive astrologer. I combine my knowledge of astrology with my intuition, and this will be reflected in this video. So today I will talk about the upcoming month of June 2025. So I will start it with describing this month in general, so what to expect. And then we're going to dive into each and every single sign. And I'm not going to lie, this month, again, is a bit of a roller coaster, okay? But I'm going to help you through it. I'm going to let you know what you can do this month, because honestly, right now, we are in a rapid transformation on a worldwide level. So what people are experiencing right now is a bit of confusion. I don't know which direction to go. I don't know what to do. And especially if you're growing almost too quickly, right? There are people that right now are growing so fast that they're kind of losing track of time, kind of losing track of themselves. So you need time to settle, to really ground yourself. I think this is a really important message that I want to give to you. A lot of people are having intolerances, headaches, feeling off for no reason. Okay, and this is really because we are going through a massive and super fast transformation. Okay, so the month of June, right, we're going to have this Saturn-Neptune conjunction in the sign of Aries. And here we already can define what is going on, right? We have Saturn, and Saturn is a planet of karma, restriction, but also it is the harsh teacher. It is actually teaching you really valid lessons, okay? And sometimes that is happening in a nice way, but sometimes in a bit of a harsh way, right? This is just like a parent who's trying to teach you how to become a proper human being. So this is how you should see Saturn. And in Aries, this is all about your identity. So how do you define yourself? How much are you standing up for yourself? How much are you standing in your authenticity? And if you're not really where you need to be, what is truly in alignment with what you're supposed to do is kind of holding you back, and it's going to restrict you. And then we have Neptune. Neptune is foggy, it's dreamy, it's ethereal, and Neptune does dissolve planets, so it can dissolve karma, especially, okay, when you are doing spiritual practices like meditation, martial arts, walking in nature, creating, channeling, whatever floats your boat. This is going to help you transform faster, okay? And this month, we're starting off with Gemini season up until the 21st of June. And Gemini season is going to round up Jupiter as well, because Jupiter has been in Gemini and will move in the sign of Cancer on the 10th of June. So here we'll see we're going from a very cerebral energy, because Gemini is very cerebral, ruled by Mercury, and Jupiter is moving into a water sign. So here it's more flowy, and water holds memory. So with memory, we can share wisdom. And this is why Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. So this is a very good, this is good, okay? Jupiter in Cancer is going to be very good. The thing is that this month, Jupiter might still be held back a little bit. It's not going to be at its full potential yet. And this is because Jupiter is going to be in a square with Saturn. So it's kind of restricting it. But you are in the preparing phase. There are going to be some uncomfortable feelings that are going to lead you towards more wisdom, okay? And it's also a beautiful opportunity to remove trauma, since water is about holding memories. You can also release them there, right? and especially related to your identity, your character, what built you, what made you, okay? So we have a full moon in the sign of Sagittarius on the 11th of June, and this is going to be at 20 degrees. And this full moon is going to be a bit uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna have Mercury, and Mercury is going to be already in Cancer together with Jupiter. So you kind of want to speak about many things. You want to share your feelings, you want to share your stories, you want to share something to maybe the outside world, to your family. I mean, you can see that in your personal chart. I'm going to discuss the signs later more in detail, but you want to share stuff, but somehow you feel restricted. Restricted of sharing your ideas, maybe sharing how you're feeling. And we also have Mars in Leo, and Leo is all about self-expression, right? So here we have again an energy of action, aggression, passion in the sign of self-expression. But it's in a square with Uranus because there's some frustration. You want to share, but you don't know how to share. And it can trigger you a little bit. Like, why can't I be myself? I'm still feeling like I'm somehow holding back. I'm holding back from what I want to share with the world. So this type of energy will come up and it can trigger you. It can make you think about certain things. Are the people that you're surrounded with still resonating with you, your family? Because Cancer is all about family, right? But with Jupiter there, you can reconnect with them and find new grounds between you two. But maybe you need to talk about something before you can really settle that, before you can go towards this new flow of energy. Because, yeah, there are going to be differences. Some people are going to grow and other people are going to refuse to grow. And sometimes we want to help them. We want to go after them. We want to heal them. We want to be there for them. But actually, that is sometimes at the cost of yourself, because you can only help people that want to be helped. And maybe they want to do it themselves as well. Like some people are like, I want to figure this out myself. I want to experience this myself. I want to fall myself. I want to make mistakes. And then I'm going to take in and soak in the experiences. And this wanting to experience yourself is very much aligned with Sagittarius, which is going to be this full moon, right? So we have this enthusiastic energy, but you're going to feel kind of held back for some reason. And you're going to figure out what it is exactly, what is holding you back on a global level. And I want everybody to stay calm, okay? But we do have a lot of, we have watery energy, and we have Mars in a fire sign, okay, in Leo. And we have Uranus in an earth sign in Taurus. So this is the earth. It's related to Mother Gaia. And it's going to be shaky with fire. So you can think about volcanoes, earthquakes, and maybe even I don't want to say it, but like tsunami or water, like floods, things like that, because things are shaky. And since the earth is vibrating with us and how we are feeling, okay, it can express itself. This intensity is expressed through the earth as well. So once we start to change, the earth will vibrate with us. And, like with everything, we have lower forms of planets. So we can express ourselves in the lowest forms of our planets or the highest form of our planet, our planet in our chart. And once we do that, you're starting to awaken, and there will be a point where you can go above your chart, okay? And I know I'm an astrologer, but I am also an intuitive astrologer, so I know that If you're vibrating high enough, you can actually, because when you're enlightened, you don't need to follow the path of your blueprint because you let go of all the attachment, you solved your karma. So, but I'm here to help people overcome obstacles and all these things, okay? But if you're on the path of enlightenment, yeah, it's interesting to dive within yourself, and there are massive opportunities to let go, especially in these past few months. We've had Pluto opposite Mars retrograde, okay? So a lot of old pain, old anger has to go. And this is uncomfortable, but it's also so rewarding, okay? And the reward is that you're going to feel more blissful, you're going to feel more in peace, more stable, because I know that things can be unsettling, especially at the beginning of your journey, once you're starting to understand some things are happening to you, and you're becoming more sensitive, and it's really hard to stay grounded when you're so sensitive, okay? And yeah, there are practices to realign with yourself so you're stronger in your energy. But yeah, you need some time alone sometimes to reflect and to really see where it is you want to go. We also have, during this full moon, Venus square Pluto, okay? And I'm very familiar with this placement. I made a video about it because I also have this in my natal chart, so I know how this works. So we have Venus actually in Taurus, and Venus is in its own placement in Taurus, right? Venus rules Libra and Taurus, and Pluto is in Aquarius, and it's retrograde. So we have two fixed signs here. Fixed signs don't like change very much. They like, sometimes they like a bit of intensity. But yeah, once we have this placement, some things might come up, insecurities about self-love, and this could outer itself in two ways. Either you're going to attract someone that's going to resonate with that insecurity, so you're going to attract someone, very alpha, very, alpha girl, alpha male, and you're gonna think, I'm gonna save this person. I can make this person love me. Has a lot of problems, but I can make this person love me because I'm lovable. So you're trying to prove to yourself that you're lovable through meeting the wrong people, and it ends up in rejection, and your heart feels ripped out and everything. This is the story of Venus square Pluto, okay? It ultimately is about finding your self-love. Don't sacrifice yourself, your whole identity for love. That's not love, okay? And we see this very often. That's why we see cheating around this time or with this placement, because it's really bringing up insecurities or attracting someone that is also insecure and is going to cheat, right? So yeah, third-party situations, dominance, like one of the two is usually dominant, and the other one is giving themselves away to be loved. So both situations, they have the same wound, and sometimes you're switching from one to another. So this is when you have this natal placement, right? But even if this transit is happening around the days of the full moon, these themes might be coming up, okay? Or you might meet people that trigger these themes within yourself. It's ultimately showing you where are still your insecurities when it comes to love. And also because Venus in Taurus is very much related to money. So be very careful for money scams, okay? Everything related to money organization. Yeah, some fraud case can be coming forward, right, in the world, like some money fraud or things like that. Things that looked honest but aren't, because Pluto also loves to expose the dark side within yourself, but also within the world. So there could be some exposure like that. Yeah, like I said, Mercury is in a square with Saturn and with Neptune. So just give yourself peace, love, and time before you fully express yourself, okay? And then we also have the North Node in a square with this full moon. And when we look at Sagittarius and Gemini, these are signs that love exploration, traveling, experience, or research. So what research do you still need to do in order to go towards your destiny, the North Node, or in order for you to let go of old patterns, old things that are holding you back? Or maybe you need some more information before you move forward. Okay, so any blocks are really showing you like maybe you need some more information and then you can move forward. So then we also have this new moon in Cancer on the 25th of June 2025. And you know, around this day, the Mars square Uranus, the explosive energy is going to kind of settle down. But we still have some things to work with during this new moon, okay? Because we have this new moon square Saturn still and square Neptune. And here it's about going into your feelings, because Cancer loves going into the feelings. It's ruled by the moon, and Jupiter here is expansion. So actually, by questioning things and going into your emotions, going into your feelings, is going to help you grow. And we have this new moon as well in a sextile with Mars, and Mars will be already in Virgo. So it's time to be a bit of a perfectionist. It's time to optimize all the things that you've been doing, working on your health. Also very important. This month is very good for working on your health. And Mercury is already in a much better placement. Okay, Mercury is now in Cancer. It is more about expressing true feelings, true intuition, but it's in a sextile with Uranus, in a trine with Saturn, and in opposition with Pluto. So this is good for researching information, diving really deep, and expressing yourself. You can get really brilliant ideas this month, okay? So this month is a bit of introspection, a bit of uncomfortable feelings, but it might help you towards more wisdom that you can share in your work, with your family. But yeah, it's gonna be about growth and also about self-love. Okay, so many people are going through, you know, I'm getting a child, like focusing on the inner child, loving yourself, and being a bit playful, right? Being a bit playful, dare to try something. Like if you never try anything, you're not going to get hurt maybe, but it's also a little bit boring because you're not really giving yourself the experience. You know, I tried, it failed. Like we were so scared of failing, and it's totally okay. Like I fail all the time, and some things work out and some things don't work out, but I get all the knowledge, and all this knowledge I can share with my clients. And I don't know if you're familiar with human design, but I'm having this 3-5 personality. So I'm here to fail and I will fail. So you maybe don't have to, or maybe you want to fail yourself. I think it's really good. It makes you stronger. It makes you more appreciative of the things that you have. So yeah, do fail sometimes. I think it's good. It's necessary. Anyways, so yeah, this new moon is at 4 degrees, by the way. And I'm going to make some separate videos to really dive deeper because there's so many aspects this month. It's going to bring very switching energies, but also very transformative ones. Okay, so I'm ready to start with all the signs. Actually, let me start with Aries before I talk way too long. Okay, let's get a chart up. So Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So for you, this Gemini season is going to be in your 3rd house, okay? And we have a full moon in the sign of Sagittarius on the 11th of June, which is going to be in your 9th house. And for the Aries that are going to be especially, you know, going to feel this full moon. This is for people who have their sun, moon, or rising around 20 degrees. I cannot even speak the word. Focus. Okay, yeah. So around 20 degrees, sun, moon, and rising, you're going to be especially emphasized by this full moon, okay? And you will have Mars at the beginning of the month around this full moon in the sign of Leo. So here you're going to feel very inspirational, and maybe you want to add some creativity to your work, or you have this really brilliant ideas that you want to execute in your job. But there is a square with Uranus, so maybe you're afraid that what you want to do, that it doesn't make money or it doesn't make enough money, that you need to do more to achieve that, or you need to give more. So you can be a bit like snappy about it. You know, I want to make money with the things that I love to do, but I don't know how, and where do I start? So there might be a bit of frustration, but this frustration is actually helping you to find a way to make money for you, okay? And actually very soon, Uranus is going to, in July, Uranus is moving to Gemini in your third house. This is really fantastic. And this will take away the instability of money that you have been feeling. If you're an early degree Aries, so between 0 and 5 degrees, you're going to feel this Saturn-Neptune conjunction. And it is true that Neptune is kind of making it a bit softer because it dissolves planets. So Aries, you have a massive opportunity to dissolve a lot of karma right now. And through meditation and self-knowledge and connecting with the divine, you can definitely resolve a lot of issues regarding leadership, like what is preventing you from stepping into your highest self. And yeah, you can actually grow spiritually tremendously. You've already had Saturn in the 12th house. You're ready for this new start, but you know, is the identity on the outside representing how you're feeling on the inside, Aries? Because you know, sometimes the things that you're doing or promoting are not fully aligned with what you feel about yourself. And it sometimes has to do with timing, okay? But you will know because before you, and especially the first house, right? It's a new cycle. So you're starting something new, and that's uncomfortable. So this new beginning might feel a bit uncomfortable, but it's really about removing everything that no longer serves you. Jupiter moves into your 4th house in the sign of Cancer. So you're going to reconnect with family this month. You may be buying, selling a house. Just be very much careful because Jupiter is still in a square with Saturn. So make sure to double check any contracts that you're signing for a house, or if you have a contractor that is fixing the house or doing something like that, like make sure that you double check everything. Okay. Yeah, then we have this, what do you want to say? Okay, yeah, the South Node is in your 6th house, okay? And during this full moon, make sure that you take care of your health, that you look for, maybe there are some obstacles with your health and you need some rest. So make sure to work on your health. South Node is in Virgo, and it's really checking in with you, like, is everything okay with your health? And the North Node in Pisces is like, you know, rest, flow more. Maybe you've been excessively trying to diet or doing something extreme, but Pisces in a North Node is really telling you to flow with the energies and feel what it is that your body needs. So meditate on that. We have a new moon in the sign of Cancer, also in your 4th house. So a lot of you are going to redecorate, clean up your house. And you know, around this new moon, it would be really, really good for you to have a shower or a bath or to go swimming. What do we have here? Believe. So it's time to believe in yourself. I feel like some of you have been giving up a little bit. Like, I'm not sure if I can do this. And it's about believing that you can, believing that you can achieve the things that you want to achieve. But sometimes you're not 100% there yet, because there is still something that needs to open up, so you express yourself in full authenticity. And people can feel that. People can feel if you're being fully authentic or you haven't fully stepped into that. And, even my own spiritual journey, I had my awakening quite early, but it really took some time before I fully embraced it. Like, I even kind of fought it because I wasn't ready. And I was trying to do some spiritual work on the side, but it wasn't the time yet, because I myself was not fully stepping into my own authenticity and my own power, because I wasn't ready. And it's okay to not be ready, but you can't expect full results if you haven't fully stepped into what you're supposed to do. Okay? So don't compromise. Like, some of you are trying to compromise and getting the thing that you want, but you're still doing things that maybe are out of alignment, maybe that don't suit you so well anymore. I've also got animals, right? And something fun I usually do is that I close my eyes and I check which animal comes up first, and then I look at the meaning. You can Google it and say, like, spiritual meaning of a wolf or spiritual meaning of this animal. And you'll know what kind of phase you are in and what kind of animal is guiding you. So it's very interesting. You should try it. Anyways, that's my message for you, my amazing Aries. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below how this resonates with you, and until next time. So let's move on now to Taurus. So Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have Gemini season starting off in your second house. This has everything to do with your self-worth. This has everything to do with your money. And this will be emphasized during this full moon in Sagittarius, which will happen in the opposite sign in the 8th house. So here you're going to look at your money management. Are you maybe frustrated with the money that you're earning? Do you feel like you're at the level you want to be? Are you holding on to money too much, or do you need to let go? With Gemini there in the second house, you could even be making like 2 streams of money or 2 streams of income. And with Sagittarius there in the 8th house, you want to experience what is, maybe you would like to experiment or do research on investing, on how to make money. Just make sure that you do it properly, because we do have Venus square Pluto around this full moon on the 11th of June, and this can trigger a bit of scammy energy, okay? And especially because Venus is in your sign, Taurus, and your sign is, related to everything physical, among others, money. And Pluto is in the 10th house, so this is related to work. So be careful for too good to be true opportunities that maybe don't resonate with you so well. It looks like it, but you're going to have to see what is your own value. How do you value yourself, okay? Then on the 10th of June, Jupiter is moving in your 3rd house in Cancer. And Jupiter loves to be in the sign of Cancer, okay? And here it's about expression. So some of you, Taurus, maybe you want to write a book. Your communication skills are going to be expansive. You're going to carry this wisdom. And watery sign is kind of like less talking, more feeling. So when you speak, you're going to really feel what you're saying. So it's going to make sense, and it's going to feel very nurturing. So you're going to have this really authoritative, nurturing, communicative energy that you're going to present. Okay, Mars is going to be in your 4th house around this full moon, and it's going to square Uranus in the 4th house. So there might be some frustration with family. This could be also related to like a home situation where maybe you have some trouble with the landlord or with contractors. But yeah, there will be some frustration with that. It could be that you feel like your family is not really fully accepting you for who you are because you've been having Uranus in your 1st house for a long time, and you kind of grew into your Uranian character, right? Like, this is who I am, this is what I want to represent. And if that is different every few months, I don't care. This is who you want to represent. This is what you want to be. You want to be a bit of a rebel. Very soon, Uranus is going to move in the sign of Gemini. It will go back into your sign, but you're rounding up this lesson now. So it's pretty major. Then we have this new moon in the sign of Cancer as well. So communication skills are great. Okay. Saturn and Neptune conjunction are in your 12th house. So you're definitely going deep within your spirituality. And it's almost like you're feeling that you can access your personality once you're by yourself. Maybe when you're with other people, it's more difficult to kind of feel or know what it is that you want. Now you're rounding up a massive cycle. Okay, so some of you are going on a trip. I mean, we do have Jupiter in the 3rd house. This is also related to traveling. So going on a trip, especially by the water, is going to be very good for you. And we have here animals. So some of you might be want to dive or swim with, swim with animals, be surrounded by animals, maybe even starting some kind of farm. But you have this strong connection with animals, a lot of you that are watching, okay? And I'm seeing these birds as well, like free like a bird. I almost feel like you want to be free like a bird. Faith. Okay, don't lose hope. Don't lose faith, because this month is quite a tricky one, okay? And Pluto is in the 10th house, so a lot of you are having some trouble with work, some of you, and Pluto is bringing you on the right path, but it needs to show you some shadow aspects of yourself. So for example, you could be dealing with very, very dominant bosses. This is showing you how not to be, how not to become, how not to be a boss. So any misuse of power means you either have too much controlling energy yourself, or you have too little. And you're going to deal with people that are going to constantly control you in the job until you say, no more, thank you. And without lashing out, but you're going to be strong within yourself. You know your value. This is about knowing your value and knowing what you're worthy of. So there's a lot of worthiness in this month that you're going to explore, and it's going to be a massive growing month for you. So this is my message for you, my amazing Taurus. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, let's move on to Gemini. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So basically, Jupiter is moving out of your sign on the 10th of June. And this is not a bad thing. Actually, this is a very good thing, because Jupiter is going to be in the 2nd house of money and income. And even though you might not feel it right away, because Jupiter is going to be in a square with Saturn, okay? And Saturn is in the 11th house. So it's really important for you to find the right community and people that you're feeling comfortable with. And Saturn in Aries here in the 11th house is triggering you. Like, do you kind of feel comfortable in your friend group? Or, do you feel like you have to be someone else? Have to pretend to be someone else? And once you are closer to and stripping away this maybe persona that you've been playing, if that's you, like some of you already worked on that, so don't worry. This is just for people that are still working on finding their true self and how to be yourself, even though you're with other people. Like, they might judge you, Some people might judge you and think like, oh, he or she is so weird. But other people will think that you're wonderful and you're beautiful just the way you are. So you're here to figure that out. And this is also related to this second house where Jupiter now is regarding self-worth, okay? And with Jupiter in the second house, you can earn a lot more money because of your self-worth and your nurturing qualities that are going to come up. However, Jupiter is also very nice and very generous. So watch out for overspending, especially because it's in a water sign. So make sure that you donate to the right causes because you want to kind of help people, nurture people, but don't do it at the cost of yourself because we do have this theme of Venus square Pluto. So you kind of want to help people this month, okay? And Venus is in the sign of Taurus in the 12th house. So this is related to everything hidden, behind the scenes. Yeah, there might be some secret love coming up for you, or someone that is contacting you from overseas, or someone from the past could be coming back, or or it could even be someone from a past life. 12th house also related to past life, and is saying like, "Oh, Gemini, how are you doing?" And this is kind of a trigger. Like, are you going to fall for that? Or, you should always give people a chance. But with this transit around this full moon on the 12th of, on the 11th of June, this could trigger you into lowering your standards. Okay. And we've all been there. We've lowered our standards because we thought, oh yeah, this is it. This is my person. Or maybe you're in a relationship and you think like, oh no, but I always was so in love with this person. And yeah, it's triggering. Okay, it can create third-party situations, it can create insecurities, and also watch out for money scams, especially if you're traveling. Okay. It's a bit of a tricky month, but it's also one that is testing you, how much you've grown and how much you are now comfortable in your own skin. At the beginning of the month, some of you might be having some trouble sleeping because Mars is in the 3rd house in Leo, squaring Uranus in the 12th. So you might be like restless. I cannot sleep. I don't know. I have too many thoughts. I'm gonna, pass all things that happen in my life, create all stories or ideas or things. Write down, journal before you go to bed, Gemini. Do that. The good thing is that with Jupiter in your sign, you could have been having a lot of thoughts in general. That's gonna decrease now, okay? It's just the beginning of the month that you kind of have this experience, but after that, it's gonna slow down with Jupiter now in the sign of Cancer. So in the upcoming year, you have opportunities to make good money. Healthful eating, look at that. Some of you are maybe working on a new diet. And at the second part of the month, okay, we have this new moon also in Cancer in the 2nd house. And this is also about nurturing yourself, right? Cancer loves to nurture themselves. So make sure that you eat healthy and watery fruits, watery food, healthy food, nurture yourself, okay? Because when you nurture yourself, you value yourself, people value you more, and you earn more. It's all connected to each other. Learning experience. So some of you feel like, oh, maybe you've made a mistake or something that didn't work out for you, but it was just a learning experience, okay? Don't beat yourself up because you made a mistake. That's what happens. And you own it and you take accountability and you move on. And, if it goes wrong again, that's what happens until you learn, okay? So be gentle with yourself. Don't be too harsh. If you're an early sun, moon, and rising, so between 0 and 5 degrees, Gemini, you're gonna feel already that Uranus is coming closer to your sign. It's gonna move in your sign in July. And that's gonna bring in this like genius within you, okay? You're gonna have a lot of great ideas. Also, you could be feeling a bit restless though. But as with everything, there are pros and cons, but you're gonna feel really inspiring. You're gonna have really out of the box ideas that you didn't think would be coming out of you. So it's about learning how to be more free and to fight freedom with yourself and other people. So definitely, yeah, good times. So this is my message for you, my amazing Gemini. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below how this resonates with you, and until next time, let's move on to Cancer. So Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. First of all, happy birthday to my sun sign, early birthday, June, Cancers. I hope you have a fantastic time. And also, you have Jupiter moving in your sign. So that's going to be a nice solar return for a lot of you. Huh? Having Jupiter in your sign and also in the transits. So it's going to move on the 10th of June. And Jupiter in the first house is really, really bringing this sense of optimism. Even you're going to feel more wise. You're going to feel that like you have more faith. And maybe in June, because we do still have a square with Saturn, it's kind of a bit restricted, but you can already sense the energies, okay? And with Jupiter in the first house, definitely it's a good year. It's for a new start. And don't get me wrong, I'm not skeptical, but I just want to tell people Jupiter is expansion, okay? And expansion doesn't happen without something uncomfortable. Like sometimes some things need to go in order for new things to come your way. And when Jupiter is in your first house, you just take a leap of faith. Like you feel more lucky than usual because you have more faith, okay? It does expand also the body, so make sure you nurture yourself, you take a good diet, and you don't overdo it. But your intuition is going to be on point this year, okay? So use it and use your wisdom to transform and to start this new path that you were really waiting for. This is the year to go for that, okay? But listen to your intuition because you know the right timing. I cannot look into everyone's chart. I can just do general predictions unless you want to do a reading with me. But yeah, there's also, we have a full moon in Sagittarius on the 11th of June, and that's going to be in your 6th house. So this has to do with your health, your daily routines, and especially at the beginning of the month up until the 21st, we're going to have Gemini season in your 12th house. Did I say 11th house? Gemini is in your 12th house. Okay. I'm a bit foggy. I think this Neptunian energy is already kicking in. Anyways, so this full moon is really for you to rest if you need to. Think about the diet that is best suiting you. And with Sagittarius in the 6th house, it's really, you're someone who likes to experiment, right? Like you want to try different things, you want to try different diets. So it's maybe not so much wanting to follow what people are telling you to do. Cancer, you're more like, this works for me. Like this is my experience. And in a way, that's valuable as well. And this is why Sagittarius is a teacher. It's ruled by Jupiter because you want to learn about health, you want to experience it, you want to grow through it, and then you can teach others if that's what you want. Same with sports, same with daily routines, okay? You have now Saturn in your 10th house together with Neptune and Chiron, so it could be that work feels a bit uncomfortable. That's why diet is going to be so important, that you're going to feel strong. And it's time for you to express yourself more authentically in the public. If you are making videos like me, you're going to express yourself more from the heart. And trust me, you will know if you're talking from the head or from the heart. So you're going to work on becoming the best version of yourself. And that can be a bit triggering sometimes. You can be tested by Saturn and Neptune together. Like sometimes situations might be a bit foggy or not very clear what is really going on, but ultimately you're going to represent yourself at work or maybe in your own business or whatever you're doing more authentically. And yeah, some Cancers are gonna completely change. You're gonna speak out, you're gonna say, you know what, this is what I am, this is what I want, and I don't care anymore because you have Jupiter in the first house. So now it's time to peel up the layers. You have Uranus in the 11th house in a square with Mars in Leo. So be careful with money and friends, because that could be a bit triggering, like some fight about money. Maybe you feel like you're not fully valued by your friends. Like they could be triggering that within you. Like, you know what? I don't like what you just said. Like, I don't like that. Please. This is, me, this is what I'm trying, or, maybe you're going to stand up for yourself there. We have this new moon also in your sign at 4 degrees. So if you're a 4-degree sun, moon, and rising, especially early degree Cancers, you're going to have Jupiter this month. So you're going to definitely feel this month, okay? It is quite challenging in some ways, because around this full moon we have Pluto in the 8th house in a square with, again, Venus in the 11th house. So if you're going through like some kind of transformation or divorce or something, be careful who you share that with. Make sure that you expose things that you want to expose, okay? Also money related or with debts, things like that, because some people take the information and they feel like they can share that with other people, steady progress. So sometimes you feel like maybe things weren't going as fast as you would like them to go, like I wish they went faster. That's because things take time sometimes, okay? And we get child, so inner child, like being playful again. It's time to be more playful, more nurturing. If you were so hard on yourself, that can create blocks sometimes as well. Like, being a bit more playful this month. Yeah, be very careful with friends, okay? With what they're saying, what they're promising, what they're advising. Listen to your own intuition this month, because you're in this healing phase. And you know what? Ultimately, the only person that can heal you is you. Okay, like I'm doing sometimes I'm doing readings for people. Sometimes that's my job. I'm doing readings for people, and I can give you advice. I can give people advice, but it's ultimately up to you to take it. Like, if things are not going the way you want them to, something has to change. Like, if you want your outcome or your outside world to change, you're gonna have to shift within. Okay, that was a hard reality I also had to experience, right? Like, I keep attracting narcissistic people. How is that possible? Well, maybe because your boundaries suck. So maybe you need to work on those, right? So I was blaming the outside world for something that I needed to work on, and I was uncomfortable with people being mad at me. I really didn't like it. And now I'm standing my ground. This is what I offer. This is what I have to say. This is how I'm feeling. And I cannot make everybody feel comfortable. And sometimes that's hard because you don't like to see people hurt. But in your heart when to apologize or when something is too much. But there are people that are taking advantage and getting really angry if you don't do exactly what they want you to do. And standing up for yourself is a really good, how do you say it? Repellent. So use some repellent, Cancer. That's going to truly help you in this situation. So that's my message for you, my amazing Cancer. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below how this resonates with you, and until next time. So let's move on to Leo. So Leo, sun, moon, and rising. Well, we have this full moon in Sagittarius at 20 degrees, and that's going to be in your 5th house. And this is especially going to emphasize all the Leos who have sun, moon, and rising at 20 degrees. And 5th house is really all about your self-expression, your inner child, and you kind of want to move forward because it's going to be a kind of a weird energy, because on the 10th of June, Jupiter is moving into your 12th house. And this is going to make you grow spiritually massively. So some of you are going to start channeling, automatic writing. You're going to be super creative suddenly. And maybe you like to spend more time alone than usual. If you're already a lone wolf, you don't mind. But if you're usually more outgoing, you're going to maybe feel like you want to spend more time alone. With this full moon, maybe you want to create something, like work on something behind the scenes. Even though Gemini season has Sun in the 11th house, you're still going to feel like you need some time for yourself. So you're going to be with friends, but then you need some rest. And you want to work on creativity and self-expression. And some of you, if you don't want children, be very careful around this full moon, okay? Because for some of you, that can trigger pregnancy. If you're an early Sun, Moon, rising Leo, you're going to have Pluto in an opposition with your Sun, Moon, and rising. And around this full moon, Pluto is also going to be in a square with Venus, which is going to be in your 10th house. There might be some tension there with partnerships, with work. Okay, maybe your partner thinks you work too much. If you're single, be very careful with maybe someone really handsome or beautiful at work that is taken and that is showing interest in you. That's a red flag on its own. Because people that are in a relationship that are looking for the outside, unless you're the love of their life, which they will, in case they will wait for you, they will try nothing sexual with you. Yeah, this energy is going to trigger this kind of energies, cheeky energies. You're going to feel this intense attraction to someone. So be careful if you're meeting someone at work that's taken, or maybe it's you, and you're like, whoa, this new colleague is so cute. Wait until after at least mid-June to see what's really there, because you might really regret your decision. Okay, it's a tricky energy, and it's also because Pluto is bringing out this shadow side of yourself. Okay, so anything unresolved or thinking that the grass is greener on the other side, it doesn't always mean that. Okay, and I have to be honest with astrology, so yeah, be careful with that. We have a new moon inside of Cancer, so your dreams are going to be super vivid this month. Your intuition is going to be heightened. We have Saturn and Neptune in the 9th house, so some of you are skeptics, a bit skeptical with spirituality, and this is good. I always say this is good because you need to feel, you need to do your own research, and you need to discern, you need to feel who feels right for you and who doesn't. Okay, so even with Saturn in the 9th house, you could be meeting the wrong teachers, like people who make you feel like you cannot be fully yourself, like you have to bend your personality to their will. That's not good. Okay, you need someone who's gonna make you stand in your own power, make you feel like in your own decisions, right? And yeah, it's easy when other people are going to solve your issues. That's very easy. And I have clients who say like, Michelle, tell me, what do I need to do? And I'll give you a plan, but you're going to have to do it yourself. I'm not going to say everything. And I cannot do it for you. You have to do it yourself. You have to be willing to make this change. And this is where people are at this month. It's like, if you want to change, if you want to see results, you're going to have to look within. And this month can really reward you with that, because you have an opportunity to dive into your intuition and to grow spiritually, like massively. Massively. We also have this new moon in Cancer at 4 degrees, also in the 12th house. Practice makes perfect, right? Like you don't have to get it right straight away. And even if some things may feel a bit tense, your creativity is on top, okay? You have a lot of creative ideas. And some of you have worked really hard in the past few months. You've been through a lot. a lot of ups and downs, and you kind of need to process. You know, sometimes your body just needs to reflect, needs to some rest. Yeah, and sports is important, especially at the beginning of the month. Do some sports, rest, sports, and later when Mars is going in Virgo, you can rest even more and maybe work a bit on diet, feeling good. Okay, stress management, look deeper. So there might be some stress coming up, or you're really just had a lot of stress in the past few months because you've been having Jupiter in the 10th house and the 11th house, so you might have been really out and about. And sometimes it's good to sit still and reconnect with yourself. And you can do that if you're open to your spiritual journey. This can be a very rewarding time because next year, Leo, Jupiter is going to be on your side, and that's going to be absolutely amazing for you. So, marriage. A lot of you are contemplating what it is that you want in a partner, no matter if you're already in a relationship or not, right? You can always have open discussions on what needs to change, what maybe you want to change, and what it is that you want to attract. So, yeah, if you're single, you're definitely working on like getting ready for someone. Okay, and Pluto is going to help you. It's going to present to you exactly what you don't want. First, you have to experience what you don't want, right? You think like, oh, this really flashy person is gonna be it. That's very classical Pluto. Someone with a lot of money or someone with a big ego, and then turns out they're not so powerful, because the most powerful people are the quiet ones that don't yell so loud about their money and their achievements, because they don't need to, because the achievements speak for themselves. So keep that in mind, Leo. That's going to be my message for you for the month of June. Uncomfortable, very creative, very spiritual. Take some rest, and all the best to you. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, let's move on to Virgo. So Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Well, Jupiter is now moving into your 11th house, and you had a good time work-wise, especially Virgo risings. You've had Jupiter in Gemini in your 10th house, and it's now moving after the 10th of June in your 11th house. This is kind of the house of luck, the house of fun, enjoying yourself. And Virgo, you like to be with friends that feel like family, okay? And we do have a square in June, so Jupiter is still in a square with Saturn, so it is not fully letting Jupiter do what it wants to do, but you're already going to feel like you kind of want to be outgoing, you want to hang out with friends, you want to hang out with community, but truly with people who make you feel like yourself, because it's in a square with Saturn. Saturn is in the 8th house. And Virgo, you are working on your vulnerability, okay? Because a lot of Virgos are a bit closed off, especially Virgo moons. For you, the best way to connect with your emotions is to talk about them, right? And yeah, so Saturn there in the 8th house wants you to become more vulnerable, open up about emotions, like letting your sexuality flow naturally. Like you don't have to be like overly sexual or anything. That's also not very natural, but letting it flow and not shaming yourself. So a lot of shame is going to be released this month. And yeah, you're going to feel like your friends are going to be your support, are going to help you with that. Venus is in your 9th house, and it's in a square with Pluto in the 6th house, okay? So be very careful with your health. A lot of you are going to actually might come across something why you haven't been feeling very good. Pluto in the 6th house is transforming your diet. And Venus is also about self-indulgence, things like that. So what can you restrict, or what do you need to restrict in order to feel better, for example? You could be traveling and you need to work, and work could be a bit demanding during this time. So make sure that you don't not work at all, or only work all the time and not enjoy your holiday. So it's really here about finding the right balance. Mars is in the 12th house around this full moon in Sagittarius, right? And Sagittarius is in your 4th house. And at the beginning of the month, we have Gemini season. So this is related to your work. Some of you are moving or thinking about moving. Maybe you're moving for work, or you have moved for work. You need to redecorate the place, cleaning the house. But you feel like your house needs to be exciting, like warm colors, warm tints. So you're going to feel at home. You have Sagittarius there in the 4th house cusp. So it needs to shine wisdom and faith. So it's important to feel at home in your house. By the end of the month, we have this new moon in Cancer, also in your 11th house, okay? So it's very much about friendships, community. Mars is in the 1st house, so now you're going to have more energy to go after the things that you want to do. And you're going to be a little bit more perfectionistic than usual, harder on yourself. So be careful that you're not like, because Pluto in the 6th house can also make you quite restrictive, like going in extreme diets or being very hard on yourself. Like, go a bit in the flow of Cancer, which is more sweet. It's time to be sweet for yourself and gentle, and combine your perfectionism, which is good because that means you can deliver quality, and quality is good. Like, I wouldn't be a good astrologer if I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do whatever. I'm not gonna fully give myself today. No, you have to give the perfectionism in some ways, but it's also okay to sometimes make a mistake. It's not the end of the world, and I know that Virgos can feel like that. I'm a Virgo. I know a mistake to me sometimes, like weeks after, I could be like still thinking in my mind, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Please let me know in the comments if you're also suffering from this Virgo trait, but a lot of Virgos do. Yeah. Uranus in the 9th house, okay? So if you're traveling, there could be a little bit of tricky situations because we have Uranus in the 9th house and Mars in the 12th house at the beginning of the month, so around this full moon, around the 11th. And yeah, it could be that you can't sleep so well because work is demanding, or maybe you're meeting someone and you're not really sure what to think about this person, like you're not fully there. Optimism. So it's time to find your optimism again, okay? Like some of you have maybe lost a bit of that optimism, that you can get it done, that you can make it work. Because, sometimes when the inner child is not activated, you're not having fun with it. You're just taking it a bit too serious. And then things starting to become mundane and boring. So how can you make life a little bit more fun? Especially with Jupiter in the 11th house. How can you have fun with it? How can you network? It's about networking. It's about showing yourself. Higher education. So higher education is about learning about spirituality or your higher self, connecting with your higher self, knowing what to do next. What is your path? What is your what are the blocks that are holding you back, actually? Okay. Yeah, we get healthful eating. We just talk about it. So no extreme diets. Balance is key. Pluto wants you to balance, okay? And also because Aquarius is an air sign, make sure that you, if you feel anxiety or something like that, it can be worse with this placement, that you meditate, you rest, and you take your time, okay? You don't always have to work or always have to do something. Sometimes it's okay to rest and to just be, okay? And realign with yourself. You will get it done when the time is right, okay? And of course, you need to like finish a deadline, but you also need sleep. Because if you're more tired the day after, you're also not able to do it. So sometimes it's better to leave it and then come back an hour later or 2 hours later or a day later, and then you suddenly have the energy to do it because you recharged. Actually, I'm just gonna tell you, I already filmed this video 2 days ago and I couldn't do it. I was sitting here talking and I couldn't finish. And I felt so blocked. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just let it be. I already spoke a long time and I was like, oh, I should finish it today because of my schedule and I have so many things to do. I'm gonna launch something new very soon, which I'm so excited about, but I needed this rest. I needed this rest. So yeah, so I took the rest. And then, yesterday was my partner's birthday, so we did something really nice. We went to visit the city and just get like away a little bit. And I came back, and today I feel super inspired to film again. So sometimes it's good to let it be for a moment, come back to it, and see it from a new perspective. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Virgo. Thank you so much for being here, and until next time. So let's move on to Libra. So Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have Gemini season in your 9th house. And we're going to have a full moon in Sagittarius in the opposite sign on the 11th of June, highlighting travel for you, studying, research, excitement, right? And this research and studying is going to maybe give you some answers to maybe work. Okay, maybe you're trying to figure out what it is that you want to do. Jupiter, which is a very good thing, Libra. Jupiter is moving in your 10th house in the sign of Cancer, and this is all about work. And Cancer is a very nurturing sign, and Jupiter is about wisdom. So people might start coming to you at work for more wisdom. They want to offer you maybe a promotion, a better job this year. There could be some really, really, really good opportunities coming in for you. If you're launching a business, this month is okay. You could, okay? I'm not saying you can't. But Jupiter is still not at its full potential because it's in a square with Saturn. And Saturn for you is in the 7th house. So it could be that maybe you feel restricted by your partner or like a business partner. And I feel like my throat. So it's like maybe you need to speak up about something. Is something bothering you that you need to talk about? Maybe the lack of a partner is bothering you. So you're not like knowing that you can do it yourself. You can achieve what it is that you want to achieve, okay? So this month is a bit triggering. It's on the one hand, you're going to feel all these opportunities and all this enthusiasm. This is the year where you should launch your business, where you should launch videos, apply for this job that you really had in mind. You should apply for something that maybe is a step higher for you, or that is your dream job. This is the year to do that, Libra. Venus is in your 8th house and it's squaring Pluto in the 5th house. And because of Saturn in the 7th house as well, you're going to have to be careful with situations, especially if you're single in June, up until like the 20th at least. Be careful with too good to be true offers, like people coming back, offering you the world, telling you all these beautiful things. With Saturn in the 7th house, you kind of want something serious. If you don't, okay, don't worry, don't listen to me. But if you do, then be careful with who comes in, okay? Because you might choose too soon, like settle too soon, or think like, oh yeah, this is the person that presents themselves. That's gonna be, yeah, that can work. And you're gonna fantasize about all the ways that this could work because you're starting to make your own story about why something works, and you're going out of your feelings. So it's really important to stay in your feelings and to listen to this inner voice, because Venus square Pluto is gonna trigger you. It's going to create maybe attraction, even if you're already in a relationship, things like that. It's triggering you, like, you know, how strong are you? Also, be very much careful if, you know, with investments this month. Too good to be true scenarios with that, or people that want to invest in your creativity, because Pluto is in the 5th house. Like, I want to invest in your creativity, or, you know, make sure that you have all the details correct, that this is genuine, that this is, yeah, something that enhances you and not something that's good for them. Okay, so we also have this new moon at 4 degrees in your 10th house. So once again, work. It's going to be a really good year for work, and there might be some really good news coming in for you. It might be uncomfortable because it could be a big shift, and it requires a lot of growth from your side. But yeah, it could be a really good step up. Child. So inner child. Also, there could be some requests from one of your children, like they want to lend money or you helping them pay their debts. Think about that. Is that something you want to do? Of course, you love your children unconditionally, but you also need to know the situation. Like, why are they asking it? Are they going to work for it? Are they going to do something so they don't become fully lazy or don't take accountability for their own mistakes, right? Like, being a bit strict is not a bad thing. Like, some people think that you should give everything, but this is creating very narcissistic children. If you're not going to have any rules and always give them what they want, they feel like they don't need to take any accountability. So higher education, you're going to use your spirituality in work, or maybe you're doing something spiritual actually as a business. That's going to be very, very good with this Jupiter in Cancer placement. Inner voice, time to breathe. So make sure to rest enough, okay? If you're going to start a new job, that you take some time in between and you don't go like really quickly from one thing to another. And listen to your inner voice, okay? Because there might be some triggers this month. Too good to be true scenarios, financially, romantically. People saying they need something, but is that really the real offer? So think about that, okay? So that would be my message for you, my amazing Libra. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time. So let's move on to Scorpio. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. Well, really good news. Jupiter is moving in the sign of Cancer, which is a fellow water sign for you. So especially if you're an early degree Sun, Moon, and Rising in Scorpio, you're going to make a beautiful trine with Jupiter. And it's going to boost you, enhance you. You're going to feel more motivated. Jupiter, after the 10th of June, is going to be in your 9th house. And 9th house is its own house. Jupiter loves to be in the 9th house. This is about teaching. This is about wisdom, having faith. So you're going to be more optimistic. You're going to have faith. Some of you are literally going to do some kind of teaching, some kind of sharing, maybe studying on the side, learning more about specific subjects, learning languages. You want to learn something that you can bring into this world, okay? Then we have this full moon in Sagittarius on the 11th of June in your 2nd house. And this is telling you about your money management. Maybe you want to do something else and you're trying to figure out, how can I make money with my passion? How can I make money traveling? Jupiter in the 9th house is also traveling overseas, especially to places with a lot of water. It's going to be very, very good for you, okay? So if you don't live near water, you can also take more baths or shower, or, you know, go to a place where there is water, because it's going to really be good for you. Venus is in Taurus in the 7th house together with Uranus. Okay, and Venus is in a square with Pluto in the 4th house. So there could be some tricky situation between your partner and your family. Okay, there could be some disagreement there, some things that they are thinking that might be coming up, something uncomfortable. If you're single, be very careful with the type of person you're meeting right now, because it might be a little bit too good to be true. Yeah, and Pluto is in the 4th house. So Scorpio, you are transforming your root, your base. And there might be some extreme situations happening in which you suddenly have to move, maybe. Extreme situations with landlords. You know, I'm a Scorpio rising, and we were scammed by someone that we thought was gonna, you know, we had this retreat center, and we thought that was gonna work out, but it didn't. And we're happy about it. We are actually very happy. We're on a new track, and we're feeling so good. And we learned a lot, but it's also about your roots. It's about learning certain lessons, right? Like sometimes you're taking steps too quickly. Like in our case, like Pluto wants maybe too quick, too fast. And we weren't really thinking about what is good for us, what would be a good next step. So Pluto is showing you extremes before you can settle, or you have to find the mid ground. So there could be some trouble with family, housing situations, but ultimately Pluto wants you to learn, and when you learn, it's gonna settle. But you know, we have to see both extremes of the coin, so to speak. There will be a new moon in Cancer in your 9th house. So again, traveling, for some of you, traveling is on the cards. It feels better, even though this month still has some quite hectic aspects, especially at the beginning. And Mars is going to be in Leo in the 10th house, squaring Uranus. So again, business partner could be difficult. Some fights regarding work, or what happens at work with your partner, or fights at work that you're bringing home. Be careful for that. Pray. Some of you are praying for something to happen that you really want. Okay. I feel like your messages are being heard. Know that it's always being heard, right? Like sometimes it doesn't come right away, but that doesn't mean that it's not in the universe. It's not being heard. It is, but it needs to come at the right time. And there need to happen certain alignments for that to happen, a certain way for that to show itself in the outside world. But I know a lot of you are working on something that maybe you want to launch, or you want to meet a special person, or some of you want pregnancy. Oh, I said pregnancy and I just got mother. That's crazy. So it's going to come at the right time, my lovely Scorpios, if you want to be a mother or a father. I know my channel is very mixed, so mother or a father, or a father. Earth angel. So spend some time in nature. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of you are quite spiritual that are watching, and you want to contribute something nice into the world. And with Saturn in Aries in the 6th house, you're being asked to align with this vibration. So like with diet, with your daily routines, you know, if you want to do something that's gonna add something to the world, you're gonna have to be strong in your energy, because it's not always so easy, right? You're gonna always have to kind of, yeah, work on your energy, and especially if you do energy work. But it can be all kinds of job, right? If you're a sensitive soul, you're gonna soak up a lot of energies from other people. So you're gonna have to stay fit. You're gonna have to make sure that you're strong in your auric field. Like if you're eating a lot of processed foods, that's not gonna really help you get where you need to be. So Saturn and Neptune in the 6th house are preparing your diet, and they're also really looking at your authentic self. Like, who are you, and what do you want to share with the world, and being honest about it. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Scorpio. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Let's move on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Sun and Rising. So obviously we have this full moon in your sign. and you will be highly impacted if that is going to be at 20 degrees. So if you're your sun, moon, and rising at 20 degrees, you're going to be impacted by this full moon. And it might even trigger a partner for some of you, okay? Meeting someone new. This full moon is not badly aspected, but we do have Venus in your 6th house, squaring Pluto in the 3rd. And this could be true, if it's through work, you're meeting someone through work, make sure that what you see is what you get. But in general, there could be some miscommunication with colleagues. This could be regarding money, or how much you're earning, some gossip happening at work. You're working on your communication. So Pluto here is giving you very strong language. You're going to have this power speech behind you. So Pluto is always saying you can use it for the good or you can use it for the bad. Okay, so sometimes if you see something, you don't always have to say it. It's hard. I mean, I'm psychic. I'm seeing a lot of things that I can't say daily. It's not fun, because sometimes you just want to be like, well, you know what? You were like this, and this is your weakness, and this is what. No, can't always say that. Sometimes it's about using your speech in the right situation, because you have really the power behind you. You can give really, really powerful speeches. And for some people that do have this, that do have it under control in a way, or know how to work with Pluto, you can trigger people by just talking, because they're going to feel this power voice coming through. Okay. Jupiter is moving to the sign of Cancer on the 10th of June in the 8th house. And this has to do with money, but this is like not your own money. This is like third party money. So just from insurance, like you get some money back from insurance, from taxes, inheritance, most likely from the female line. Yeah, there could be some lucky breakthroughs with investments. However, June is not 100% fully representing Jupiter, because it's in a square with Aries, with Saturn in Aries, okay? Saturn is kind of restricting planets, okay? It's restricting. So it's not in its full potential yet, but you're going to get a glimpse of what it's like. And in the upcoming months, it might present itself to you through some lucky breakthroughs where, yeah, maybe you paid too much and money is coming back, or you get like double money back, something like that, lucky breakthroughs with money. Then there will be also a new moon in the 8th house, and 8th house is also occult. So some of you are going to be so curious about maybe tarot readings and human design, astrology, all these kind of things. And what I want to be very clear about is that some people are scared about it, because religion does say, like, it's forbidden to do any kind of site or for fortune telling, but everything in life has good energies and bad energies. So you can, like, yeah, if you're gonna tell people what their future is gonna be like, they're not going to be a better person, right? Like sometimes it can really hurt people, like, oh yeah, you're going to stay alone for the rest of your life. Yeah, that's not very nice. You're not allowed to say that in general. You always need to give uplifting messages to people. So if you're in a high vibration, you're working with high light beings, and they give good information that people can really use. So I feel like all faith could be coming together, because any type of fear is going through the lower vibration. So it's important to stay in a high vibration no matter what you believe in. And if you're scared to dive into this subject, you don't have to, right? It's just a way to communicate with your own intuition. Like this card is just giving me a reflection of myself. It's my own intuition reflecting back to me. I don't know why I'm explaining this, but I think some people need to hear it, because there's so much guilt being brought into that. And I have a religious family, And I so respect every single religion because faith is so important. I think it's really good. It's good to have community. And I can see how that can help so many people in becoming a better person. But, you know, there is an invisible, massive light that is there for everyone to catch. And you can't catch it when you're in fear. So, yeah, it's not scary as long as you work with the right vibration. First, work on vibration and then start to do meditation. No, not then start to do, and then start to work with things like cards and astrology because you won't get obsessed and you're going to use it to really help people grow. That's my recommendation to you, Sagittarius. So, yeah. Anyways, that's my message for you for the month of June. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Let's move on to Capricorn. So Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Sagittarius in your 12th house. And this is the house that tells you to reflect, to rest, gather your experiences. Maybe you want to just write down what you've been through in the past time, like gather your thoughts. What can I do to improve my routines? Because Gemini season is in your 6th house. So just an overview of where you're at, where you want to go. You have Venus in the 5th house, squaring Pluto in the 2nd house. So be a bit aware about money. So maybe some money offers are not as good as they seem. People saying, yo, I want to support your talents. I want to be there for you. I want to help you grow. But make sure if that person is genuine, or also where you put your money right now. Okay. Don't make any hasty decisions with money in the month of June. Okay. Also, it's about working on your self-love, your inner child, because Venus is in the 5th house. 5th house is your inner child. This is where your creativity comes from, right? People who are very connected to their inner child are very creative, most often. And creative is not just painting, right? Creative can be people who are writing a book. Creative can be people who are actors or actresses. Like, everybody has their own type of creativity, and that can come out through your inner child, through your optimistic energy. So whatever wounds are coming up, that could be related to your self-worth, like I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough experience. Maybe start doing it for fun. Like, you don't have to do it professionally already. Like, you can just start by practicing. Then also Capricorn, because Jupiter is moving in the sign of Cancer on the 10th of June in your 7th house. So for my single ladies and gentlemen, my single Capricorns, this is the year you could be meeting someone. So go out and about. June is still a bit of a tricky energy because it has some, by the end of the month, it's going to be a lot better, especially the new moon in Cancer, okay, which will be at 4 degrees. So you could be even having a sun, moon, or rising at 4 degrees. So you're going to be especially impacted by this new moon. But yeah, you could be meeting a partner, a life partner. You could be getting married for some of you, engaged, meeting the right person for you, which you deserve. So Saturn is in your 4th house, okay? So there might be some things going on in the family that are restricting you from being with your partner, or that are creating not the full happiness that you wish you have. This is about also feeling yourself, feeling at home within your family, within your home. Anything that feels off needs to be stripped off. Anything that makes you feel unstable needs to be taken away. Speak your truth. Like, some of you need to speak your truth. Stand up for yourself. And I'm seeing like this person has their arms open. So it's about letting the universe guide you to where you need to be. Okay. because at the beginning of the month, you're feeling a bit frustrated. Like, why aren't things going my way? You know, we have Mars in the 8th house squaring Uranus in the 5th. So there could be some frustration about maybe your children, like, oh, I can't handle it this month, or about your creativity, about money. Like, I wish I had more money. But look at that. Every time you feel frustrated, pause. Just pause a little bit. Miracle and safe travel. So some of you are going to travel, especially by the end of the month, with Mars there in the 9th house. Maybe you're going to do some kind of hike. You're doing some active holiday, or you're going to go, yeah, because Virgo there in the 9th house with Mars likes to be active or doing something for your health. And I'm getting miracle. So there could be some really big breakthroughs for you. Move. So moving the body, but also it could be a literal move. I do want you to make sure that you know, with Saturn in the 4th house, a move is difficult, okay? It's gonna be a long process. So if you can wait until after, I would wait. But if you're gonna go for it, it's gonna be hard work, okay? It's not gonna be like an easy flow, just like with Jupiter in the 4th house. So if you're gonna rebuild something or doing something with the house, it's gonna take more time than usual, okay? Anyways, that's my message for you, my amazing Capricorn. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, let's move on to Aquarius. So Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon on the 11th of June in your 11th house. 11th of June, 11th house. And this is time for you to socialize, to spend some time with friends, maybe to do some kind of catch up. How are you doing? But the energies are a little bit tense, okay? You have Venus in the 4th house, and it's squaring your ascendant, or at least someone in rising. It's squaring, wait a minute, I have to say this correctly. First I want to say, no, that's not correct. So it's squaring Pluto, which is now at 3 degrees in Aquarius retrograde. So if you have a sun, moon, and rising around 3 degrees, so between 0 and 6 degrees, you're going to feel this energy quite intensely, okay? And there might be some struggles with family, or there are so many things that are coming up, maybe about your childhood, about your roots, things you've experienced that were hidden. They will come up. Like, the veil is going to be removed. So the underworld is coming up. So all the dark feelings that have been hidden are going to come to the surface. And now you have this time for healing. And Venus square Pluto is saying, where are you preventing yourself from truly loving yourself? Is that the voice that you heard in your family and you made it your own voice? Because ultimately it's their opinion about you, but it's not the truth. So you're gonna restructure a lot of things within your body. On the 10th of June, we're going to have Jupiter moving in the sign of Cancer. So the upcoming year, you're gonna have Cancer in your 6th house. This is about your routines, your work. So you might be having a really good time with your colleagues. Jupiter is still in a square with Saturn, so it's not at its full potential yet, okay? But during the year, you can definitely get like some kind of promotion. You could be getting a new job offer. This is usually not something much bigger. It's not like a much higher position. It's usually something similar, but you could get like a better offer. You want to start fresh, maybe try a new company. This is really a good time for that. Or you could just generally have fun with your colleagues and enjoy this time. Also, this is about nurturing yourself, but watch out with self-indulgence, because moon, yeah, like Cancer is ruled by the moon. Moon are your emotions. So emotional eating, binge eating is on the maps. If you're feeling like a little bit out of sorts, you're probably gonna want to drink a wine or eat too much food. So be very careful with that. You've been going through massive transformation. I'm not going to lie. There's also Uranus in the 4th house squaring Mars in Leo around this full moon. So anger at a partner, maybe you're a bit angry with them or their family or your family. Yeah, like give each other a break around this full moon. If I can recommend you that, because things are gonna get a bit heated. And if you're single, be careful who you meet kind of around this time and what they are saying, what they mean. Don't make rushed decisions. Next year is the year of love for my Aquarius, okay? So your time is coming. Like some of you, I feel like the frustration, like I would love to meet someone and it's taking so long. I myself have been in a situation like that where I've been single for a very long time. Things weren't working out because I wasn't ready yet. And I didn't see that. I thought I was ready. But there were some things like I was giving and giving and giving to everyone around me. And then there's no energy for myself. So how can I also have a partner then, right? It's not possible. So yeah, I had to shift a lot of things. And that's what a lot of you are going through. And this is just my example. Like you're gonna have to shift something in order for you to be ready, like if you're single, okay? Because that's what Pluto is asking from you. A lot of you are going through upheaval, and make sure your partner knows. So, you just say, I have Pluto on my sun. I'm going through a lot right now because it's basically a full ego death. And it's about really restructuring your life in so many ways, okay? Then we have a new moon in Cancer by the end of the month, 25th of June. So again, this could be a new job. I'm getting retreat. I feel like your work's going to be a bit easier. You're going to enjoy it, but you also need some rest once in a while, okay? Retreat, take your time. You found it, triumphant. So true frustration, you're going to find what you're looking for, and it's going to be so rewarding, okay? People fear Pluto, having Pluto in your sign. I have it in my natal chart. So much fun, but it's rewarding because it's going to bring you to spirituality. It's actually a higher octave of Mars, which means that it's even, you can grow tremendously, and you can become the best version of yourself because you're gaining wisdom, okay? So changes, uncomfortable changes in some ways, but also massive growth. You're gonna come out the other side, and it's gonna be positive, even though it doesn't feel that way. But something in you is being awakened, and it's about the ego that needs to be removed, certain emotions that need to be, felt, brought up, so you can let them go for good. So you're gonna be ready for the next step. So don't fear it. It's going to be all good. Focus on your work, on your health. Be sweet to yourself. Don't be too harsh. And you're going to be just fine. So that's my message for you, my amazing Aquarius. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time. So let's move on to, Pisces. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So for you, we're going to have Jupiter moving in the 5th house on the 10th of June, and I'm talking in an exciting way because this is really good for you. This is in a fellow water sign, and especially this month in June, if you're an early Sun, Moon, and Rising Pisces, you're going to have a little bit more of a boost there. Jupiter in the 5th house is good news. It's fun, it's creative. If you are expecting or you want to create a baby, this is the year to do it, okay? We do still have Jupiter in square with Saturn, so it's not fully there yet, okay? It's going to be in the upcoming months. You're going to feel it more than this month. But yeah, it's going to make you feel more optimized. You're going to have fun. It's about creativity, creating, but you're going to be highly fertile. So be careful if you don't want that, okay? Saturn is in your 2nd house together with Neptune. So this is kind of blocking money in some way. So you're going to feel a bit frustrated sometimes about money. And you're going to have to ask yourself, like, what is, to me, earning money genuinely? So Saturn is going to help you appreciate hard work and earning money. And through hard work and through going in your alignment, because it's also with Neptune, right? You are going to earn more and more. So the reward will definitely come later. Don't stop because maybe it doesn't earn as much as you would like it to. Venus is in the 3rd house and Pluto is in the 12th. Okay, it's squaring each other around this full moon in Sagittarius. And yeah, this full moon in Sagittarius, by the way, is in your 10th house. So this is related to your work. It's going to be on the 11th of June. This is work related, maybe some news regarding work, just feeling like you want to do research, what kind of job you want to do, some good news with work, maybe you want to teach something, more going towards teaching. But yeah, this square with Pluto there in the 12th house could make you a bit restless, maybe not sleeping too well. Pluto in the 12th house makes things invisible, so there could be some like gossip behind the scenes, or because we're talking about Venus there in the 3rd house, which is communication. So it could be some uncomfortable communication going on, some trouble with siblings, like the communication with siblings is going to be a bit less well. If you're traveling around this full moon, it could be uncomfortable. It might not be the travel you thought it was going to be. So make sure that you have everything well arranged. Like, you cannot control everything, right? Like, some things just are delayed or things like that. But yeah, I do feel I'm getting, you found it. Okay. So yeah, I'm hearing watch out with snapping around the full moon. Okay. At work, snappy. Everybody's a bit snappy because Mars is in a square with Uranus, okay? So people are going to be like snapping. For you, that could be at work or with siblings, so be careful. But you found something. I feel that Saturn in the 1st house really created your strong personality, and you kind of know like what you want to do next. Talking about personality, okay? You might want to date, and I feel that, yeah, just be picky in a way, be nurturing and pick the right person. You know, June might not be at its full potential yet, but you can start already if you want to meet someone. And I'm getting triumphant. So it's really time to see yourself as an achievement, because I'm kind of feeling like sometimes you feel like you're trying very hard and it's just not happening. Why is it not happening? But it's actually already on its way, right? Like, I'm getting prey. Like, you're praying for something, you want something to happen, but sometimes you have to rest in order to receive it. Like, if you're just working and you're just pushing, it cannot come to you. Now it's really about the flow of water. You know, you are being helped by Jupiter in Cancer now, okay? So water can flow to you, and it can only flow when you're letting go of control. North Node is also in your 1st house. So this is about knowing how things can flow through you, and work with the energies. You are working towards your passion, the direction you want to go, instead of leaning onto others. Maybe you've done that in the past, maybe you haven't, but if you did, it's like you want to be more independent and you want to work towards something that's just for you. But you're working on your self-value and your self-worth to make that happen. Okay? It's about self-love, knowing that you deserve that. Because maybe you think that you don't deserve this happiness or this peace, things like that. So yeah, in general, it's going to be a good month for you. There might be some obstacles coming up regarding communication with your colleagues, also with your health. Make sure that you Don't overtrain around this full moon. Don't overdo things. I know you can be angry, but be careful. Be in your body, okay? Because it's a very chaotic energy. So be in your body, and you're gonna be just fine. Okay, it's gonna be a pretty good year for you. And if you want to have expand your family, this is the year to do that. So wishing you all the best, my amazing Pisces. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.